Marcelo Bielsa is one of the most renowned and influential managers of all time. Hailed for his philosophies and morals, Marcelo Bielsa is a direct influence for PSG manager Mauricio Pochettino, Man City manager Pep Guardiola.
He make a question, so how he said to me, what is your opinion about the game? And I said, after 1 second I'm not able to analyze the game.
Diego Simeone from Atletico Madrid, and many more. Marcelo himself played the game at the highest level in Argentina for Newell's Old Boys, where he is considered an icon amongst the fans for his time as their manager, and Newell's Stadium is named after him. Marcelo retired from playing football at age 25 to focus on management. Once he retired from playing, he took over Newell's Old Boys, Atlas, America, Vélez Sarsfield, Espanyol, the Argentinian national team, the Chilean national team, Athletic Bilbao, Marseille, Lazio, Lille, and currently Leeds United. Marcelo Bielsa has never been at a football club for longer than 2 seasons, excluding his national team duties, and due to his record at football clubs, he gets accused and his players get accused of something called Bielsa Burnout. This name is given to the theory that Marcelo Bielsa's teams suffer from fatigue in the final third of a season and the season after. To play in a Marcelo Bielsa team requires a phenomenal level of fitness. Imagine James Milner and his fitness levels and multiply it by 5. These Leeds players need to work for 90 plus minutes they're on the pitch, tirelessly, every single game. Since the start of the last decade, Marcelo has taken charge of big clubs such as Bilbao, Marseille, and Leeds. At these clubs, he was accused of burning his players out, and due to that, results would suffer. The problem with this theory is that teams sometimes suffer defeats when they should be winning games. Strikers have off days, defenders make mistakes, and Bielsa teams are no exceptions to this. Sometimes these mistakes lead to losing a game that you should have won, and the team goes on a bad run on the back of it. In 2011-2012, Marcelo Bielsa took charge of Athletic Bilbao. His Bilbao team performed poorly in La Liga, but went far in the Europa League and in the Copa del Rey, getting to the final in both. His team upped their game to a phenomenal extent and performed to the highest standard against some tough opposition such as Manchester United, who they beat twice over 2 legs. Overall though, they couldn't win any of the 2 finals they were in and ultimately were poor in the league over the entire season. In Bielsa's second season, Bilbao never hit any run of form whatsoever and just dwindled away into 12th place. You could argue here that Bielsa burned out his players and therefore they couldn't perform as good in the second season. However, running statistics go against this theory as his team ran only slightly less to the first campaign. Tackling statistics were a lot lower however, as Bilbao lost their best player in Xavi Martinez to Bayern Munich, and their main issue became conceding goals due to this. Over both seasons, Marcelo Bielsa never got his boys to perform consistently in the league and go on any meaningful runs. Excluding European and domestic runs in the first season, his team's performances left a lot to be desired. And while Athletic Bilbao under Marcelo Bielsa is remembered fondly by supporters and pundits alike, their only success was their Copa del Rey and Europa League runs. I am in no way invalidating Athletic Bilbao or Marcelo Bielsa's achievements. The point of this essay is to highlight if Bielsa burnout is a thing or not. In the 2014-2015 season, Marcelo Bielsa joined Marseille. For 7 months, Bielsa's Marseille side led the league table. That was until April 2015. Going into the last 8 games of the season, Marseille suffered 4 defeats in a row, and some against much worse opposition. Thankfully, this was the only loss run they went on all season, and after these 4 losses, they won 4 matches back to back to finish the season on a high. The end of this season saw the departure of key players such as André-Pierre Gignac, Andre Ayew and Dimitri Payet. After a solid pre-season for the 2015-2016 campaign, where Marseille beat Juventus, Marcelo Bielsa resigned from his post only minutes after the first match of the Ligue 1 season concluded. He cited lack of trust for club management as his reason for leaving Marseille, saying that the club's management reneged on his contract extension. Because of his departure, we never got to see Marseille in their second season. The first season was hugely successful, although ending on a downer due to not winning the league title. Their only run of losses in the whole season was contributed to Bielsa burnout by pundits. Looking at statistics, there is nothing to back up his team burning out. There is evidence to suggest that his team were not taking their chances, however, which is a trend that has followed him since he took charge of Espanyol in 1998. We're going to skip over Lazio entirely, as he never even managed a game for them, as he took charge and left the club only 2 days after due to lack of commitment from the board regarding players he wanted to sign before the deadline. His spell at Lille also came to an abrupt end only 3 months after the season started. This moves us onto the creme de la creme, Leeds United. Marcelo Bielsa has never been at a club for longer than he has been at Leeds United. In the 2018-2019 season, Marcelo Bielsa took charge of Leeds with the goal of being their return to the Premier League. Marcelo took a team that finished 13th in the previous season, raised their fitness levels, set them up differently and set them out to demolish the division. This was working very well as Leeds were top of the championship by Christmas, and no team had failed to get promoted while being top of the table in this time period. Ultimately, while bringing new faces into the club and training the players vigorously, the club suffered a dip in form after the Christmas period, and while they never went on a losing streak, lost some big games. As the season drew to a close, Leeds lost to Wigan at home, which effectively ended their promotion charge, and they were succumbed to the playoffs. While they won their first playoff game 1-0 against Frank Lampard's Derby County, Leeds lost the reverse fixture 4-2, which means they had to suffer another season in the Championship. Their several losses after Christmas is what pundits and fans call his infamous Bielsa burnout, as his players could not keep up the tempo which was set. Once again, all running and tackling statistics dispute this, as his team ran more and more as the season progressed but were not clinical in front of goal. In the following season, Leeds built upon the foundations set under Marcelo Bielsa in their first campaign, and once again, stormed the championship until just after the Christmas period. Several losses in January and February led the fans into panic mode as they thought the club might bottle their promotion charge again. After a 1-1 draw against Brentford in February, Leeds went on a 5-game unbeaten run before the season was paused due to the coronavirus pandemic. Once the season resumed, Leeds lost 2-0 to Cardiff, but then went on an 8-game unbeaten run. While some of the games were tight, West Brom and Brentford all crumbled under the pressure while Leeds saw out narrow victories against Swansea and Barnsley, making Leeds champions of the Championship. Recently there's a lot of backlash over a comment made by Karen Carney, who said Leeds got promoted due to COVID saving Marcelo Bielsa's team from suffering burnout.
The amount of running they're doing.
They outrun everyone, and credit to them. My only concern would be is, will they blow up at the end of the season? We saw that the last couple of seasons, and I actually think they got promoted because of COVID in terms of it gave them a bit of respite. I don't know whether they would have got up if they didn't have that break. So
there's no way to truly know, but with Leeds winning 5 games in a row before the break, the comment seemed a bit harsh. And now we're well into the 2020-2021 season, where Leeds are leading the table with distance ran and presses per game, while Patrick Bamford is leading the league for most shots taken, while he has returned 10 goals. There has only been 5 games this season where a team has taken 25 or more shots in a Premier League game, and 3 of them are by Leeds. Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United are unique in how they play, and get plaudits for the dangerous football they put on display. This very well may be Marcelo Bielsa's last management job, and while his lack of titles will always come under scrutiny, there is no denying his footprint that he's left on the game. And while there are some breadcrumbs of evidence to suggest his teams lose steam in the latter stages of the season, there is no concrete proof for this, and it seems to be a narrative that appears whenever his team goes on a bad run, even though they always recover from the bad runs. I guess it's fair to say that this will always be a contentious talking point open to debate. But with everything that I have researched, I don't think this is the case. Thank you so much for watching. This is the first kind of video I've ever done in this style. I wanted to be very factual I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to go through Marcelo Bielsa's last decade as a manager, and I didn't want to overload you with statistics or analytics, even though this video is quite analytical in its research. So if you could hit the like button and the subscribe button, that'd be amazing. I'm going to be uploading more content like this. I am a Leeds fan myself. I don't know if you can tell, it's Matthias Klick jersey and some posters by John Tregoning. I'll be uploading more videos in the next couple of weeks, so please come back for those, and please follow Murderball Media on Twitter, and please follow us on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube as well. More videos will be coming your way soon.